Hi guys, welcome to Perseverance Software Training. And sure, I'm Sai Chiran. Alright, so in this series of Docker, let's understand about CMD and entry point. So we have been discussing about this during Docker file discussion where uh, it has been told to you guys that we'll see the CMD and entry point later. See, it's a simple thing but very tricky, right? Let me explain you. So we have detailed what is CMD and entry point, but you will not get a clarity here. Let's do this. Let's firstly go to the server. Let's understand this. So before that, let me do one thing. So let me explain you what is executable and document. So for example, this is the server, right? So this is our Docker server, just clear. So this is Linux platform. We have something like echo command here. So echo, if I give Sai, so if you see it will print Sai. Alright, whatever we give, right, it will, basically print. See, it will print the same. Yeah. So here, what is echo? What is Sai is echo is executable, which executes something, and Sai is argument to echo. So what we should pass arguments to echo, right? Perfect. So now let's do this. So let's create a Ubuntu container. If you see, so Docker run, let's create an interactive mode, it hyphen hyphen name os container Ubuntu as an image. So it will take us to the container immediately, right? Perfect. Right. Now to customize this behavior. So let me exit from the container, give exit, and maybe we'll delete the container also because we need to do a lot of testing here. So we have deleted. All right. Now docker ps-a, no containers are there. Now let me write a Docker file. See, because we have used the default behavior of Ubuntu image, we have been taken into the container terminal and we were working. Now let's see what happens. So if you let's write a Docker file. So vi space Docker file and go to here. So use Ubuntu image as base. So from Ubuntu and let's put on CMD. So now the syntax for CMD or enter point is like this. So CMD, this box bracket, put your executable and comma and put your arguments. Something like okay, hello, right? You got something like this. All right. Now even entry point works the same way. So entry point uh, echo. All right. So Shiva, you got it right. Fine. So just for now, just understand this is the syntax for CMD and entry point. You have already we have seen that command which will be executed during start of the container or launch time. I would say launch time of the container is nothing but the commands which are embedded within CMD or entry point. You got it right. But let's go with the real time lab scenario so that you will get to know and understand this completely. Meaning these two decides the behavior of the container during start or launch time of a container. Okay, fine. But why two we'll discuss. Let's firstly look out and get hands-on on CMD. So CMD, so here if you give echo and with hello, right? All right, yeah, that's it. So let's save it and now so Docker, okay, all right. So give okay, we need to build the Docker file, right? So let's build hyphen t. Let's give a image name. Okay, this is launch time, right? So maybe something like okay, test one is my test is my this one image name and v1 is my tag dot, that's it, it is built. So now if you give docker images, so this is the one. I mean this would be one of previous one, let's ignore. So this is one test v1. All right, okay. um this same, okay, maybe I have tested this before. Let's do this, let's remove both of this custom colon v1. uh, let's give custom docker rmi, right? Next docker rmi, let's remove this also, test colon v1. Okay, perfect. Now if you see docker images, nothing over there, perfect. Now let's build that. So docker build, yeah, perfect. It is built. Now if you give docker images, yeah, see 4 seconds ago, this is perfect. See that custom v1 I have tested before, showcasing to you. That is where it was showing 11 minutes. Okay, fine, that's okay, because the custom v1 data was reused. I mean, it is already there, right? So the same data got mapped with test v1 as well. So yeah, all right. Now we have the image. Now let's run a container out of it. So docker run hyphen interactive only, hyphen it, hyphen name. So container one. All right, if you give that test colon v1 image, if you see it, you observe what it will execute. So it will execute our CMD during launch time, and it should print hello. So that is where you got hello. Got it? Yeah. So we are dealing with the behavior of the launch time or startup execution, right? Start time execution. So that is where. So if you now, what we'll do is, let's edit the docker file. So I mean, let's do this. Vi space docker file. All right, let's remove CMD now. Give entry point just for our understanding. Use something else here. Hello, Sai maybe. Okay. All right. Hello is removed and replaced by Sai. Escape colon WQ. Fine. Good. Now let's do this. So Docker build hyphen t. Maybe this time is we'll take another one, custom v1. All right. So dot enter. Yeah, it is built now. So now here we have used entry point. Now if you execute another, maybe consider as c2, and the image would be entry point image, which is custom v1, right? Docker run interactively, we are specifying name of the container, which is c2, but we are using custom colon v1 image, which is having entry point instruction. Now it will do the same thing, it will print something like Sai. Got it? See, both works the same, but what is the difference, right? The difference is we should smartly use this one, right? The combination is important here. So let me tell you. So what happens is, now, right, entry points, it is always recommended, to actually, uh, you know, uh, we to actually keep a combination of it. But let's see, it is a requirement, right? It's not like, we keep it simply. So to control the behavior, for example, you need to have something which runs on default, and you need to override something whenever required. Override, right? Okay, so this default data will be updated within CMD, and and which can override what is that can be, basically put in entry point. Meaning of this is, entry point cannot be overridden. All right, entry point cannot be overridden, but your CMD can be overridden. All right, so let's test this now. So now, okay, you have echo. Okay, let's do this. So we have hello, we have Shiva here, for example. Okay, if you do this, what happens? Let's see. Copy it. Go here. Open a Docker file. Let's skip I. Yeah. So we have both now, right? Okay. All right. So if we do this, what happens? Right? You observe it is very tricky now. Yeah. Right. So cat Docker file. We have entry point. See, we should have one executable, right? So maybe you were thinking that hello and Shiva will be print, right? But see what happens. So I'm building this image. So docker build hyphen t, uh, you know docker build hyphen t, with maybe, this is okay, latest colon. Okay, is it recommended to put like this image name? No. Why? because we have tags like that, right? That's not a basic element. So maybe start time is good, something like start something, you can put anything, or you know, a sample colon. All right, so v1, okay, fine, perfect, and dot. So we have both here. Now let's run a container out of it. So run c3, this will be c3, and this is not custom now anymore, so this sample enter. So now observe, it will print hello echo Shiva. Such a meaning is echo is the executable. It considered hello as an argument. It also considered echo as an argument, and is it considered Shiva as an argument, right? So that is how it works if you combine. So what is a smart way of dealing with this? Combining both and running. So if you see now, vi space doctor file. Let's edit this. So what is a smart phase? You should not keep executable here in your CMD. Just keep your arguments, and your entry point you keep your executable. That's it. This is fine. Now what happens is, if you do not pass a override value, that I will show. So see, simply let's run this and let me explain you. All right, so wq enter. So let's build this again with a new um, sample, maybe v2. But all right, all right, now let's run container c4 with sample v2. So you know that, okay, this will print, you know, just Shiva, correct? That's good, because of the docker file, right? Now this is here, under entry point we have executable, and under CMD we have Shiva. All right, this is perfect, working perfectly. All right, that's fine. Now when you create a container, right, during the container creation process, if you want to override the default value, this default value, all right, okay, if you want to override this default value, you can override directly here while running the container. All right, so maybe now it is c5, right? C5, and maybe keep sample colon v3, okay, space, you pass a value, okay. So you want to replace Shiva with something, right? So you pass value, okay. So you keep something like Praveen. All right, okay, I mean, you got it right. So now what happens, if you do not pass a value, it prints Shiva. Like here, see, observe this command. If you pass a value, it will what will happen is, okay. So what let me explain you in a sense, right? So you can pass any value here, okay. See, okay, let's keep God something like that, right? So this one will be actually, uh okay, uh okay, v3 is not there, right? So okay. It is just v2, guys. Yeah, it is c5 is done now. So c6 v3. See, just observe this command now. See, you have not passed anything from this image, so it print Shiva with the default argument. So CMD is a default executor. If you want to override the default value, so now docker run -it hyphen name c6 container sample v2 only, because this image is v2, and now you pass a value like God. Now see what happens. So this default value is being overridden by God. I mean, the value which I have passed. Meaning is, if you do not pass anything, it will consider CMD, and if you pass something, it will consider that value. That is the speciality of entry point and CMD. So it's this combination is recommended always. Okay, if you keep two entry points, we have seen. I mean, if you keep two entry points, latest entry point will be considered. If you keep two CMDs, latest CMD will be considered. The best practice is to use the combination in case of you who wants the behavior like this, meaning, so defaultly it should execute a value, and in case of your requirement, if you pass some value, the default value should be overwritten and replaced with the new value. All right, fine guys, fine. So we're done here. So this is the utilization of CMD. So now if you see here, provides default arguments for the entry point, which can be overridden when the container is run with a different command. You got it right? Perfect. Whatever you have seen, that is where I am explaining this slide at last. Now entry point defines the fixed command that is always executed when the container starts. All right. All right. Perfect. Fine guys. So thank you. Thank you so much.